rhythm.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and the first of my fantasy Adventureathon vlogs. Yeah, I told you guys I was trying to do daily vlogs and then yesterday didn't happen. So I did have like some montage footage that I did put before this. So yesterday I was actually visiting my parents' house and I had to drive back home. And it's like about a 2-hour drive between their place and my place. So yeah. Not a lot of vlogging got done. So I did kind of start off this readathon on kind of a different note than I was expecting to. I did, however, get to listen to an audiobook in the car, and I actually finished it this morning, so I am on par, I guess, because I am trying to finish one book a day for this readathon. But I have already switched around my TBR. So for the cliff prompt, that was read a book with a nature word in the title. I had originally planned on reading Dead Stars. That was the one in my TBR video. That's the one I was planning on reading. But I actually got Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I actually got the audiobook from my library. I use the Overdrive app, and I don't know if any of you have tried to listen to the Harry Potter audiobooks on Overdrive, but it is a very long, very lengthy list of people who are trying to listen to it. And I've been on the wait list for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for a couple months now. I wasn't anticipating on getting it during this readathon. Usually you can kind of tell how long it'll take you to get holds in on Overdrive, but this one, like, the waitlist was so long it couldn't give an estimate. So I was really surprised when it popped up on my feed. So I did go ahead and switch it out. Stone, that's a nature word, and Harry Potter is obviously a fantasy series. And I am a little light on the fantasy for my TBR, even though this is kind of like a fantasy themed readathon. So yeah, first prompt out of the way, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I did end up giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and that was with me trying to be as unbiased as possible. The Harry Potter books, and I'm sure this is not a unique story, I know this for my generation at least, it's a common theme among us and like book lovers in my generation, but I actually grew up reading the Harry Potter series. It was like my first big kid book that I picked up and started reading, and it really sparked my love of reading. I am never going to be able to give that series like unbiased reviews. I am really trying, because so when I was in like grade school and middle school and even most of high school, I did end up reading the entire series every single summer. I had started reading the series when the books were not all out. Like the 7th book came out when I was in 7th grade. So I've read like the first part of the series a lot more than I've read the second half, just because I would like read all the series that was released in preparation for the new one to come out pretty much every single year. And I've given it a break these past couple of years. I haven't really reread the series, revisited it in a while. It's kind of interesting to go back and look at it through more of like adult kind of eyes. I've read a lot more since then. I've read a lot of fantasy. I've read a lot of better authors than J.K. Rowling, no offense. I mean, I love these books. I love this series. It's everything to me. But, you know, a huge part of that is nostalgia, and reading through this book, the audiobook, just so nostalgic for me. It was great. My only gripe is that it's like the newer version of the audiobooks, I believe. So it's like put on by Pottermore, and they just kind of changed some pronunciations that I really don't think should have been changed in the first place, like how now Voldemort is supposed to be Voldemort. I'm not on board with that. I'm always going to call him Voldemort, just because I have this issue with George Lucas too. Like, you already put content out, you already have it out, like don't keep changing it and changing it and changing it. That's an issue that I have with J.K. Rowling that can be discussed in depth at a later date. But that was my only gripe, so I did give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was an amazing nostalgic read, and I am waiting for the second one, which is actually my favorite of the series. I am very curious to see if it will remain my favorite of the series after this reread, but I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how long it'll be until I read the second one, but I am very glad that I got to read the first book for this readathon. And then yesterday, my family and I actually kind of went thrifting at a couple of different Goodwill stores in the area. Like before I went back home, my brother was looking for, he's trying to collect all the different Marvel movies. He wants to try and watch them all before Endgame comes out, so he has been like trying to find secondhand copies of all of the Avengers DVDs or Blu-rays. So we were really looking for him, but obviously while he was there, I did look in the book sections and I surprisingly found a lot. I am not a very big Goodwill shopper. I usually go to different secondhand stores to get my clothes, and I usually go to like Second and Charles or Half Price Books, places like that, to get my secondhand books. But I actually found a ton of really great stuff, and I thought I would share it with you guys, do a little book haul, because I got some really high quality books, and I mean, I'm not trying to sound pretentious, because obviously I do buy a lot of my books secondhand, again, at different places other than Goodwill, but I just was not expecting like this quality of books there. I don't know. I know that sounds like kind of elitist of me, but I've honestly never found like great books at Goodwill before. So I was surprised to find several different books. So I'll just kind of go through them, do a quick little haul for you guys. So the first one I found was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, parts 1 and 2. And this is the special rehearsal edition script. I've never read this. I know. You can call me a fake fan all you want, but I held off initially because I honestly wasn't too thrilled for it when it came out. I heard a lot of criticism from people and I heard it wasn't that great. It did get spoiled for me, so I kind of know like what's in it, even though I haven't read it. And then I just, you know, after it had been spoiled, I never really saw a reason to read it, never really saw a reason to buy it. And a lot of people don't even consider this canon. I'm going to guess that I'm not going to consider it canon as well, just from what I have heard happens in the book. But again, this was only like $1 and it's in like new condition, so I figured I would pick it up, actually give it a try, and keep it. Fun fact, I don't actually have any of my Harry Potter books with me at this house. That is something that I am going to try and get, because I don't have any of the physical books anymore. They're actually all at my parents' house. I'm the oldest of 5, and a lot of my siblings still do live with my parents because they're younger, and I do have a younger sister that is actually reading the books for the first time at the moment, and I don't want to take those books away from them. They were technically given to me like for various birthdays because, you know, I was the target age when they were coming out, but I don't know, I guess I just really want to like share the love and share the magic with everyone, because I just don't want to take them away from my home and, you know, not give my siblings a chance to read them. So I am leaving a set there, and I do think I might just let my family keep that set. I might buy like a copy of the series for myself, or I'll buy my family a copy of the series and then take my old books back, because it's definitely weird to me in my bookshelves not having the Harry Potter series, because they are like, that's a pivotal series for me and I don't have it. So this is the only like physical Harry Potter book I own at the moment, but I am excited for this one. And then the next books that I got are the Dan Brown books. I got 2 of them, and so that's gonna be Angels and Demons, which is the second book in the series, and then the Lost Symbol, which is, I believe it's the 3rd book. It's either the 3rd or 4th, I'm not too sure on the chronological order of these. This is essentially like a continuation of the Da Vinci Code. I think that's like the most popular thing that Dan Brown has done. It's about a symbologist named Robert Langton, and they're just, how do I describe it? Like National Treasure, that movie. A lot of these books just go into different like historical mysteries and, you know, looking through historical artifacts and all of that stuff, and I am a history geek and I really enjoy this series, so these hard books are in amazing condition, so I really couldn't pass them up. If you can kind of see behind me, I do have the series already. So I do have kind of a nice copy of The Lost Symbol, but it is in paperback, and then I just have like a horrible movie tie-in. Like I got this secondhand too of Angels and Demons. I just really have wanted to have the whole series in like the hardback versions. I think especially this Angels and Demons cover is just so gorgeous. Like it looks like a Renaissance almost sort of like sketch. I know Inferno is not supposed to go here. This is actually my favorite book in the entire series. It is based in Florence. I actually did like a study abroad summer where I lived in Florence for college, and this book I did reread it during my time there, and I went and visited all the places that were mentioned in here, like the big old nerd that I am. So this one always has like a special place in my heart, so that's why it is actually first, like on the bookshelf, even though it's not first in the series. But yeah, now I have the full series except for Origin, which has come out recently, and I just have not gotten around to getting it yet. But I do have that whole series in hardback now, which is awesome because I love having series all in like the same sort of editions. Like I either have to have them all in paperback or all in hardcover, so excited that I have those. The next book I found was Cell by Stephen King. I don't actually know a lot about this king. I think it is kind of like an apocalyptic story where cell phones are like the harbingers of some sort of plague or end of the world sort of thing. It's definitely not one of his works that he's most known for, but again, hardback in like perfect condition. I don't have this one yet. I am trying to collect all of Stephen King's work. So that is Cell. Pretty excited to pick that one up. And then the last book, I think this is the one that honestly I am most excited for. And that's going to be Brissinger by Christopher Paolini. I have actually been rereading the Eragon series. I'm actually reading Eldest for the Fantasy Adventureathon. But I only owned Eragon and Eldest. I don't have Brissinger or Inheritance, and I've been looking everywhere for these hardback copies. Barnes & Noble, the in-person store, like the physical stores, only sell the paperbacks, and they're a little bit different in style than the original hardbacks, and the hardbacks are hella expensive. So I've been watching them on Barnes & Noble and Book Depository and trying to wait for like a really good deal to complete the series, and found this one for like $1. So I am excited because then I can continue on with the series with my own books. This is a first edition. It's not in like the best shape. The person who owned this was a dog earer, so like some of the pages are just like a little crinkled, but I've been like putting it at like the bottom of a stack of a bunch of books, hoping to like straighten that out. But there's that. So yeah, one more to go. Hopefully I can find that one thrifted as well. That would be great. I'm not holding my breath because the copies that I have found that are secondhand are really beat up, that I've found at like Second and Charles and Half Price Books. So this one was in really good condition for, I think this one was $2.99 because it's a chunker, but this one is in great condition. I might just end up buying Inheritance, a newer copy of it, because again, these guys are hard to find. I might just end up biting the bullet and buying a brand new one for that one. But that is the book haul. Took a little longer than I thought. So that's really all I have for this update. Finished Harry Potter, so I am on track. And then I am reading Dark Places by Gillian Flynn for another one of the challenges. And this one is for the challenge Toad, and that's read a book with green on the cover. It's right there. I'm not that far into it, but this does seem like a fast-paced book, so I am hoping to finish it today. I do work from 2 to 10, so not much reading is going to be done after this morning and on my lunch break. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure you were supposed to do these challenges in like order, but the group book is the first one. I do have that. That's A Darker Shade of Magic on an audiobook, so I will be listening to that one to and from work on my commute. So I am just going a little bit out of order. I'm hoping that's fine. I didn't actually check to see if there was a specific order you had to read them in. Hopefully not, because otherwise I've already messed that up. But this is my reading journal. I did end up making a spread for Adventureathon, and I have my team there, Team Fantasy Dragon, and then I have all of the different prompts that I'll just fill in as I go, and then the points that I can tally and add up as I go. So I actually need to fill in the prompt that I've finished, and that's Cliff, Nature Word in the title, get started on my next one. I'm not sure how much more I am gonna update you guys, but I will do like another little update before I go to bed because I am gonna try and get this up tomorrow. And hopefully these 2 days of footage will be enough for one vlog, because I do want to do at least every other day vlogs now. I do work a lot and in weird time periods. This week, retail problems, but I am hoping that I can string together enough footage for you guys. But that's it for this clip. I'm going to go read, and I will talk to you guys a little bit later. So it's now about midnight. I got home from work and just started reading and kind of decompressing from the day. It was a weird shift at work. But I did start the group book for the readathon, and that is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I'm on part 1 of 10 of the audiobook, and I got about 40 minutes into it. I probably shouldn't have picked it up on audiobook. I'm thinking this is one I might have had like more success just kind of reading as a physical book, but my library only had the audiobook. So that's why I chose it that way. And then on my lunch break at work, and then when I got home, I've still been reading Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. I'm on page 134 of 345. I'm really liking this one so far. It does kind of go into lots of weird topics that are just, I don't know, like I don't want to spoil anything because some of it is kind of a spoiler. I had heard it was really graphic, and maybe I just haven't gotten to that part yet. This is a book about a girl named Libby Day who her family was all murdered when she was a small child, and she was the one who helped put her brother away for the murders, and now she's an adult looking back on it, realizes her brother might actually not be the one responsible, so she's kind of trying to figure out if she can free her brother and clear his name. So they do kind of go like through flashbacks of the day that her family was murdered, and there is like brief descriptions of the family members' deaths. I mean, this isn't a spoiler, it's in like the first chapter, but one of them, you know, gets hacked to pieces by a hatchet, another one's strangled, so it's kind of describing those things. It wasn't too gory. If the concept of that bothers you, maybe don't pick this up because it does kind of go into like dark things. But like the descriptions themselves weren't that graphic. I don't know, maybe it gets a lot worse and I haven't gotten to it yet, but there are like some more psychological things and things of like a sexual nature that are just really making me uncomfortable. Slight spoiler alert, and I'll go ahead and just keep this book up throughout the slight spoiler. And I'll put it down when I'm done with the spoiler, so you guys know when to keep watching if you don't want to be spoiled for this book. But there is a rumored relationship between a 15-year-old boy and a 5th grade girl. Again, it's, you know, I'm like halfway through, so it's definitely a rumor. You don't know whether that's true or not yet, and you've only gotten like a little glimpse of their friendship. And that is the most uncomfortable part of this book for me to read so far. So unless you like really don't like violence at all, I don't think that's the part of this book that'll get to you. But yeah, so I was really hoping to finish a book tonight, but I am exhausted and it is very late. But the good news is tomorrow I do have the entire day off. Tomorrow I am going to try and power through 2 books. Dark Places is like a really fast read, so I should be able to finish that. And I might pick up something else as well. I actually think Watchmen is due at the library tomorrow, and there are people like waiting on it, so I might pick that one up tomorrow as well. But that is going to be it for this vlog. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and yeah, I'm going to be vlogging the whole of the Fantasy Adventureathon, so definitely follow along. There's going to be more vlogs to come. And yeah, with that being said, I will talk to you guys in my next vlog. Bye!